This is an unboxing and build video of the Midget Mustang kit by Lindberg Line. The Midget Mustang was a popular pylon racers in the 1940s and 50s and remains a popular home-built aircraft now. It is sometimes called the Long Midget Mustang because it was designed by David Long, Piper chief engineer, but it never went into production by Piper. The box states that the Lindberg Line started in 1933. I think this is because it is a follow-on of a successful wood and flying model company. I can't find any copyright dates or other dates that suggest when this kit was produced, but it's obviously a very early plastic kit. Compared to a modern kit, this kit is really easy to build, I would expect. It says right here on the box that it only contains 12 parts. I've counted them and there are only 12. There's the interior of the box.
Here's a parts layout.
Here are the plans. As you can see, they're really small and they're really basic. Let's get started.
First, we'll assemble the two fuselage halves together to form the fuselage. As you can see, there are no alignment pins and holes or other devices to fit the fuselage correctly together. You can see that with the fuselage sides perfectly aligned, the cutout for the wing does not line up at the leading edge or trailing edge, and there's a gap open in the cockpit area.
Here are the two fuselage halves glued together, and I've attempted to fit the wing to the cutout for which it goes to, and you can see that it has no way of indexing the wing at all. It just has to be set on there and positioned by eye. And you can line up the centerline seams of the fuselage to one that's sort of scribed in the wing. But the problem is this didn't completely fit this because the holes were a little bit offset when the fuselage was put together, fitting elsewhere. So I've done a lot of fitting around here to try and get the wing to fit properly.
The wing is one piece, and it took considerable effort to get the fuselage opening to fit the wing properly. The horizontal tail surfaces have a tab that should fit into the fuselage halves, but it is compromised by the sprue connection fitting right next to it.
Well, here's the assembled fuselage and landing gear. I seem to remember back somewhere earlier in the video where I said this should be really easy because it only has 12 parts. In fact, it really only has 10 because two of the parts are the mounting stand to display it. Boy, was I wrong. There are no slots and tabs and so forth to fit the thing together, except there are the tail was a tab and slot. Unfortunately, one of the slots was completely filled with flash, and the tab and the other one didn't fit in, and I must have put the stabilizers on. I don't know how many times I lost track. The landing gear was a little bitty plastic strut right here. I broke the first one off right after I installed it. So I decided, well, if one of them is going to be wire, they might both be wire. It didn't matter because the places they fit into were just a vague hole, not something that fit the strut. Boy, there was a lot of fitting, and I didn't do a great job in some instances. The next problem is that I need to try and minimize the seams And in doing that, I'm going to take off all the raised detail. So I have to try and not do too elaborate a job of sanding so that I don't completely reduce it to a featureless airplane. Here we are ready to paint.
I primed and sanded the model, hand painted the blue windshield area, masked it, painted the red area, masked it again, and painted the silver area.
Well, here's the finished model. I installed the decals over the raised panel decal numbers. In some places you can see that they don't quite register inside the in-cast part, number 67, but pretty much that it covers up the already existent number. Like I said, I thought this would be an easy model. After all, it only has a limited number of parts, and that leaves a very limited number of joints. And believe me, every joint was difficult. I certainly take it back. It wasn't an easy model. It fought me all the way.
It seemed to me this model was kind of a trip back into the early days of plastic modeling. There was some good nostalgia and some pain that I had forgotten about, but it was a fun project. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, here are some similar ones.